Hello, this is an Osaka League game played on 3 handicap that black won by 4.5, so pretty close. The highlight of this game was the co-fight that happened in the top left where black got a compensation group in the lower left, so after that he was just extremely solid and kept the lead till the end. Impressive. So let's see what happened from the start. Komoku, attack high, and then a high pincer. Here I usually prefer the low pincer. The Josekis can be more complicated and there are many options, but the most common one is black will attach in the corner to keep white separated. Now white can either hana in the corner and play a 2-space extension to develop fast on both sides. One of the common Josekis here are cap move, extend again, hit the vital point, connect, go up, hane, cut, hane under to connect, because black obviously has the ladder with the lower right corner stone in place, and then extend again. So white got to develop the top, the left side, while black just fix a group that is going to run towards the middle later on. But that's a very resilient group. It's hard for white to attack and kill, especially that it's out in the center. This would be one basic pattern. Another option after this attach for white is to play the 2-space jump right away. Then usually here black will bump, white descends, black will take the vital point to prevent being baseless, like this, or tsuke. Now white again extends on the left side to make a base, black keeps the corner safe, and white extends again. So again white develops top side and left side, while black just fixes the corner. This is another quite simple and basic pattern on the low and tight pincer. So 1 space low, it's quite common. There are many other variations when black goes Kosumi or splits, or he can play Keima, but then white is happy to connect right away, either like this or like this. So this way black goes for outside thickness. Anyway, it's not so interesting to see all the Josekis here right now. So back to the original game where white played a 1 space high pincer. So black just attaches in the corner. Now usually black will split first, 1 space jump, white comes out and then attach in the corner and pull back. Now this pattern is very common. Attach, cross cut, white simply extends. Back in the day white would play Atari here, but nowadays this is the variation that's very common, and extend again towards the corner. So this is a basic Joseki too. But of course black has the option to pull back and think about a pincer like this, similar to what happened in the game. So in the game black played the attach first, which gives white the option to go up and cover. This is a way to go for outside thickness, while black simply leaves in the corner. Then you switch to the top and set up a moyo here. So that's a way to consider the follow-up when black plays the attach in the corner. Hane is still very good. Black pulls back, then the tiger mount, which is a good shape. Black obviously will jump out between the groups. Now this is a fine move to go out and be 1 step ahead, but white has 2 other options. One is to play a peep, and then when black defends, simply extend on the left side, high or low, it doesn't matter much, so you kind of help this d13 and prevent the pincer. Of course black will probably try this vital point or to surround with a keima, but when black plays here, you just push and cut. So the shape in the top, it's pretty strong. You're not going to die, and there are cutting points in black's formation, so that's absolutely fine. Now the other option is to go ahead at g16. If black tries this key point, f17, you're just going to capture the stones. When black pushes out, hane, atari go out, atari extend, and those black stones are captured inside. So that doesn't work, which means when you play g16, g16 is actually connected to the corner, so black will probably push from behind several times. But this is nice for white, because white is building territory on the 4th line, and then again black will play a counter pincer like in the actual game. But here you don't want to try to run out with a stone, you just approach and try to use it as bait in order to fix a base on the side. Something like this could happen in the game also. Let's see. So white jumps, black plays a pincer, a tight one. Black can still play the 2-space high pincer, so it narrows the gap between d4 and d10, so it's a bit tougher for white to come inside. Playing like this, black can end up over concentrated. So what white can do next, especially being a handicap game, it's to approach c9, because c9 is threatening the connection under at c11. So when black secures the corner, white will use this attach. Therefore, black can double up here to separate or go all the way down to the second line. The idea is to separate d13 from the side, but now white simply extends for a base. Two-space jump, defend, and then jump out. And black will probably play another move to make sure he can surround this d13. But already, white got the base inside the moyo, and now just play away. So when you play a move like c6, black is not going to defend f3 and allow the slide and then extend at c9. It's natural for black to play this pincer because he wants to make sure that d13 gets even weaker. So white plays a double approach, that's fine. Well, it's not necessary to play the double approach high, it's good enough to play the low one, f3. Then when black goes d6, you hane, black cuts, attaching the corner, black captures this stone and just leaving the corner. And this should be the same variation with a high double approach. So once you play here, black attaches, that's fine. Hane is good, cut. But now it's not necessary to play Atari. It's better to play d3. If black goes c5, you just go down c3. And if black approaches here, you descend once, Atari, and then double up or f2 to secure the corner. Now black extends back and you attack this corner. Now if black becomes ambitious and he blocks the corner at c3, now is the case to play Atari d5 and then Atari c4, Atari again, Atari like this, and either go down or simply wall this black corner, which is super painful. If this happens, the situation is super ugly for black. His shapes are almost collapsing. So white got a spectacular wall and the outside stones are on the run. This is very good for white. Therefore, we don't see that unless black is misreading. Black will always block c5, white goes down. So the variation comes to an end in 3 moves. Now playing Atari here is not so great. The sequence is forced and for white it's impossible to cut right now. If white has a variation where he can capture the stones on the outside, then it's good. Because you want to be able to do this, and then if your opponent saves the stones in the middle, you cut. But this is not going to be the case. Black can play the hane and kill you faster. So when you block, just Atari and Atari. Therefore, you need to turn in the corner, which happened in the game. Then push, that's fine. Black blocks. Now the corner is alive, but the outside stones are in trouble, both of them. I mean, okay, this one you could sacrifice earlier, but why hurt f4 as well? So the situation here locally looks a little bit better for black compared to the basic joseki, where white attaches and takes the corner. Another option for white would be to go out, then give up this stone, Atari from the outside, and capture the corner, either with an Atari or a Nobi. But again, it's not that great. Black can play here, then black can play an Atari and extend, or just a Keima. This is important because if black plays other moves, white will hane here, and next Atari is coming. So that way, white gets stronger towards the middle. But this seems a little bit better than the actual game. Even though black is happy with the thickness on the left side, overall, white is taking a much stronger position as well. So what happened in the game kind of hurt white at f4. So now white is trying some other things. This o4 is also questionable. Usually it's okay to play the low approaches and then extend high. Okay, not that close to the wall, just here. This is the kind of move you play when you have a wall. So instead of these black stones here, if they are white and white has a wall, then white obviously is going to set up a moy on the bottom side, and it's okay to play high moves and simply continue like it happened in the game to set up a large moy on the bottom side. But here it wasn't the case. Yeah, black got a big point. Black played really solid this game most of the time. So quite impressive for a 9Q to have this kind of feeling. Now this r8 it's an overplay. Normally white just extends r12 or first push in the corner, clamp and then extend back. But this just gives black a very nice move to attack at r10 in which case white needs to protect again, otherwise the base will disappear. So white kind of overplayed r8, and that's normal for a handicap game, but black here can pincer, like this or like this, and all of a sudden both s15 and r8 are in trouble. I mean, here white can slide, but then white still needs to go out with the group, and black can split. The corner is fine, white has to jump again, black can jump like this to put pressure on the bottom side, and now a one space jump to surround this original submarine invasion. So the dynamic of the game is very good for black here. But black double up, very conservative. Now when white extends r12, black can immediately jump in at r10, and if white uses an attach, just cut and capture the stone. So this is fine for black as well, but black defends the corner. That's a little bit slow, so now white can play q10 and build a lot on the right side, or play a jump like this. Now the start fight's on the left. It's possible to go out with that stone, but it's good enough to play a one space jump, or play a bump first to make sure black is not trying to connect under at c13. Black will play a no-b and then jump out between the groups and jump along. Black will probably secure that top left group going towards the top, like this, but it's a connection mostly on neutral points, and white comes up in the middle, so white is happy with the result here. Let's see how the fight develops in the game. So we have a peep, then black defends, white jumps out, black jumps between the groups, that's good, and white plays a peep from the top. This is not necessary. The top group is very strong, and it's more interesting for white to play the peep from the other side to secure the center group. But actually here, white can play an attach and then a clamp, and then jump along. Now that kind of peep is really not necessary, because for example, if black tries to cut here, white has the Atari from the outside, then capture a stone this way. So playing the peep from the top is going to reinforce a group that's strong already, and makes the group in the middle still weak, or keeps it thin. So you better keep other options in reserve, like peep from this side or Kosumitsuke. Anyway, the top side looks fine, but right now those three stones in the middle are weak, so simply jump out would be the best option to think about. So we have a peep and a jump. Now the jump in the top to make territory there and prevent being surrounded should be k17, because black doesn't want to play just a one space jump from the corner. Playing here, this shows that white wants to build in the top and also put some pressure on the middle group, but black can just push from behind and then come around and attack those three stones. He played the Kosumi. That's a little bit soft. Also, it's good enough for black to play this attach. But actually this variation will come up in the game as well. So go out. Yeah, white needs to escape too. Black very proper captures this stone, that's fine. This move is not necessary. There is still some combination with an attach here, then a bump or pull back to make sure black is not going to connect under. If black cuts, you cut, Atari go down, then when black plays here, you turn. And when he plays this one, you have a double Atari. Oops. So playing this push, it's actually Ajikeshi, because it's more interesting to use the Tsuke and pull back, or Tsuke crosscut. That's some sort of thank you move. Now in order to separate black on the left side, you just need to double up like this, or play a Kosumi one way or another, but black can already go out in the center. This Keima, it's trying to put pressure on black group, but in the end it's not going to build much. Black can jump here. So in the top, it's interesting to play a move like m17, but still it's more interesting for white to fix the group on the left. So this middle left group needs some help. Just Keima, black jump out, and then this induces the extension in the top. So yeah, black jumps between the groups, then a cap. Now black tries to link under. Interesting Tsuke, possible. Crosscut, it's a good tactic too. But then, first you need to Atari from above. Then when black connects, Atari from the side, and now defend. But usually here, black will capture right away. He doesn't want to leave the Atari from the outside. But in this case, you Atari from the top, black needs to connect, which is kinda ugly, and then you simply pull back. And if black captures a stone, you leave it like this, it's sent already. Well, later you can go no-b up, but right now, you can just play out the big points. So playing like this, black will capture, and now there's a cutting point, and here white can go up. Then black can hane, no-b, and it's the same endgame like in the game. But going up m16 can give you a few extra points here. It might make a slight difference at the end. So black jumps here, but that's a soft move. Black should still invade the right side or attack the bottom at h3, preparing the invasion at m3. White jumps on the right, that's good. White can actually use the peep. Black will bump. This kind of helps against the invasion. Then jump again to reinforce the bottom side. Anyway, nice idea to play p8, prevent r10. Well, this is like an endgame. And actually for black, it's more interesting to play hane block connect, because when white goes down, black has hane on the left side in center too. So in the end, white leaves with 6 points in the corner, then invade h3. So build more on the bottom side. This way, white is more comfortable in the corner. This will be a bigger life, and if this happens, white doesn't even have to answer right now. That's a little bit soft, but okay. Black feels good about his position. So now we have a critical fight on the left. So far so good. Black can play Kosumitsuke here to stay connected. Now white needs to block to keep everything safe in the center, and then black will just Kosumi on the left side. And this will kill the stones on the side without a ko. Now the way this fight developed was pretty good for white, in fact. Yeah, black can actually connect d16. If white captures a ko now, black always has this Kosumitsuke. Now when white struggles to leave on the left side, black can catch those stones in the middle and go on a counter attack to attack the other stones too. So it's not too bad. Even if white leaves inside, oops. The left overall is still successful for black, because black can attack this bottom group and then continue the attack in the center to try to catch these guys on a large scale. But for this, black should think about the whole board picture more. So now it's mostly focused locally with this connection. White cuts, black Atari, pak. And actually here, black was supposed to get captured. So white doesn't have to connect this stone. Simply hane on the first line. The options are limited for black. If black blocks, you have Atari from behind and Atari again. And now when he plays double Atari, you just take the corner, but you don't lose this lower left corner. Now, if black hane in the corner to expand his liberties, you Atari on the first line first, and hane in the corner. Now again, he's got 2 liberties. When he goes down, you have time to play this hanging connection, but it's also good enough to connect. He cuts, Atari from behind, and that's it. Just capture the corner clean without ko. Now playing here, obviously, black didn't play Atari and cover, because now it's 4 against 3, so white will hane and kill. Black first expands his liberties, which is very good. So the sequence is pretty much forced. Hane in the corner is correct. He goes for an eye shape, take away the second eye, then block, approach, and now ko. Because white has 3 liberties, and if white plays here, black hane, white goes here, black Atari, so white will lose by 1 liberty. Obviously, white needs to fight the ko. Atari, capture, connect, that's good, hane, and continue with the ko. Now here, well, it's interesting for white to defend, but it's not so easy to find ko threats next. So black will take, then probably the ko threat that white has is to peep in the middle and catch this stone, but in this case, black will just eliminate the ko, then white goes for this tiny capture in the center. And the game is still long, and it can be very close. So white decided to eliminate the ko, then black kills this corner. Well, this feels good too. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 plus the surrounding territory. It's more than 20 points. But there are lots of ko threats for white here later on with the throw in at b1. So this is not going, it's not going to help right now. It's better to wait and when you have another call going on the board, use the throw-in as a call threat. It's a wasted call threat in this moment. Obviously you cannot leave here, so it's good you play some other moves. There is a block here, then another throw-in, then Atari, then capture. So many call threats for white, but better use them when it's supposed to. It's okay to play Hane here and then extend to see which is going to be black's response. But yeah, Q14 to expand the right side. Normally just R14. So later on you can play Hane in Sente. Because this one, black can play a clamp. And that happened in the end game. This is good. This kind of jump, it's a little bit greedy and it leaves the poke in the elephant eye. Normally just Keima or one space jump from the right. It's safer. But in this case, black can jump here. So it's still more interesting to expand the bottom, playing the Hane, which gives black the stone, but now just extend. If you play Atari here, black connects and you need to come back and connect. But if you play the Hane, then you're aiming to Atari under at F2 or to Atari from the right. So when he goes down, you Atari from the right. When he captures, you don't have to do anything. And now you secure the bottom side like this, or block against the monkey jump. Or maybe play Tsuke and pull back and build even more. But playing this move is risky. If black comes in, it's hard to connect. I mean, when you play all these moves, you're losing M5. So what's the reason to play M5 and lose it in a few moves? Then when you play Came under, it's still going to be very painful. Black has this kind of combination. So playing this Keima was a bit risky. Black comes out, push and cut. Now obviously white is trying to play a bit more desperate to catch up for the lower left loss. And it got kind of close. Yeah, this is a situation where black should take right away. So when white goes down, black has this nice Hane Sente, and if white connects, black doesn't have to do anything. Playing Nobi, white has another Atari, another forcing move. And even another forcing move is coming here later on. So when this Atari, black should take. Okay, white connects, black turns. Monkey jump, very good. Then the clamp here. Black could go up and then capture the stone. Because when he captures right away, white gets a good shape. Atari and then some other move. Nice tiger mouth formation on the right. Oh, this was big for both. So white can play this Kosumi and then jump in the middle to expand. That Kosumi on the second line, it's a double Sente move. The Hane shouldn't be played right now. Better reduce from the middle and later use the Hane. It's actually no rush. Anyway, the game is close. Very impressive. Black's moves are very natural. Here white can double Hane, threatening an Atari. So black will Atari, but then extend against the double Atari, and now you can catch a stone or play some other move. Yeah, the connection solid will leave less call threats. So for black, there's a variation to play Atari here and then go like this. But in fact, no, just play Atari, Atari, and connect underneath. So black can erase lots of points on the right side. It doesn't work to go Atari and Atari all the way. Nothing happens. White will connect. But for example, if black plays here, threatening to cut at S9, white needs to protect, and then black just links under. Now if white separates, black captures a stone. So that's a simple Tesuji to use on the right side to erase that area. But he blocked the R7, so now white got rid of the problem. Then the cut here, okay. Yeah, the endgame was pretty solid here for both. Now when white is behind, he should risk the block and call. I mean, there's nothing else to lose. Anyway, there are call threats in the lower left corner, so why not? Atari here take, black captures. Also locally, white can go out. Black needs to play Atari, Then white takes back the ko. Here it's not such a big ko threat. White will take again. If black captures here, white takes again. So I can profit a lot fighting the ko like this. And actually white's position is quite strong. Especially with those ko threats in the lower left corner, white should risk it. So once you block here, black might think, okay, he's ahead anyway. He connects and then you connect. So this will save 2 points. All of a sudden the game is not 4.5, it's only 2.5. So few more combinations like this and you're back in the game and you can win it by half a point. This was just too kind. And this move, is it really necessary? Oh yeah, it is. Because if white plays other things, black has Atari, Atari and net. So yeah, too bad. It's not necessary to play Atari and Atari. It's good enough to play just double Hane. Because when black plays here, he might lose the double Atari from sight. So probably he plays an Atari and then you go double Atari from behind and catch. It's too obvious like this. The plan with the double Atari. Okay, that gives some extra points in the top. That's good. This move, it's 1 point. But it's 1 point in Gote for both. So let's look all over the place. If you go Atari here, and black takes this 1 point, you capture a stone on the left side, which damages more. Also, black can push here, which is 1 point in Gote. So you better block this way, which is going to take away his center push, and if he plays this one, it's going to be Gote for black. 1 point Gote at this stage is too small, when there are still slightly bigger moves. 1-2 points here and there. But it didn't make such a big difference. Already it's hard to come back. Anyway, impressive game by black. He sold the lower left ko. I mean the top left ko with the lower left kill, and then he didn't risk anything. So it's a pity white didn't capture the top left corner unconditionally. That was a little bit greedy to play the Kosumi, try to damage more and then kill. Black managed to resist. Anyway, good game for both and interesting fighting tactics overall. Enjoy the review.